Want to get your toddler talking? I'm Dr. Mona Amin, a board-certified pediatrician and mom, and today we're talking about language from 12 to 24 months, milestones to monitor, and common mistakes you don't want to make when helping your kiddos learn to talk, and what to do instead. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button so you do not miss out on videos that help you navigate your child's health, development, and behavior with confidence. Let's get to it. By 12 to 24 months, your toddler is moving beyond basic communication into more structured language. They're transitioning from using single words to hopefully combining two or more words into short phrases to express thoughts. Remember to watch my video on language and communication in the first year for even more tips on communication and language, and also foundational tips for communication, which is so important. Communication between 1 to 2 years of age includes gestures like nodding, yes, or shaking, no, which they love to do, sounds like uh-oh or wow to express reactions, bringing objects to you to show or request help. Language becomes more intentional and complex, saying recognizable words like milk or ball, combining words into short phrases like want cookie or daddy go, repeating simple words or phrases they hear from you or others. Communication builds connection, while language is a tool to express those connections. Even if your toddler isn't using full sentences yet, their efforts at communicating are critical steps in their development, and how you respond is really key. For more tips on understanding these changes and how to support your toddler's growth, be sure to subscribe. I share weekly videos to guide you through every step of parenting because everything's connected. Before we discuss milestones, knowing what counts as a word can help you track your toddler's progress. It's not just about perfect pronunciation. Words can take many forms as long as they are used consistently, independently, and intentionally. Here's what to look for. Actual words. Words like mama, dada, or up that are clearly recognizable count as words. Word approximations. Words don't have to be perfect. For example, saying ba for ball, or ba for balloon, or wawa for water counts if it's used consistently. If ba is used for two separate things, like I said, balloon or ball, those are two separate words. Exclamatory words, simple words and phrases like uh-oh, yay, or ew all count as long as they're used intentionally, independently, and consistently. And independently means that they don't have to be prompted. They'll just say it. That's what counts as a word. Animal sounds like moo, meow, or ba count as words if your toddler uses them to refer to the correct animal, and like I mentioned, very key, uses it on their own, intentionally and consistently. Sign language at this age also counts, so signs such as more or all done also count as words when they're used consistently and meaningfully. Remember, it's all about intention and context. Celebrate these early forms of communication as your toddler builds their vocabulary. It's helpful to think about your child's speech development in ranges. When you think about the milestone, this is about what most kids do. This is the minimum number of words most toddlers, around 90%, are able to say at a certain age. Example, by 12 months, most babies can say at least one word, like mama or dada. Around average, this is what many kids, about 50%, typically do, showing progress beyond the milestone. Example, by 18 months, many toddlers can use about 50 words. Above expected, these are the overachievers, about 25%, who go beyond the average range. Example, by 24 months, some toddlers may use more than 400 words and combine two-word phrases like want cookie. Let's break down the major speech and language milestones in this age range as shown here. Remember, every child develops at their own pace, but progression is key, and meeting the milestone, which is the minimum expectation, is really important so that we know they don't need further evaluation. As a parent or grown-up for your child, you play a powerful role in fostering your toddler's language or growth. They're going to learn language mostly from you because to build language, you need social and emotional connection, and they're probably feeling that with you. But make sure when you're encouraging language, you don't fall into any of these traps, and here's what to do instead. Not pausing enough. The mistake. Asking a question or making a statement and quickly filling in the silence without giving your toddler time to respond. Example. What sound does the cow make? Moo. What is this called? What is that called? What color is that? We are not allowing them to have a response. My head is in a tizzy when we video chat with the grandparents and they're rapid firing, asking my child questions without allowing them a time to pause. This isn't a quiz bowl. It isn't interrogation. Their brain needs time to process, to learn, so give them some time and pause. Here's what to do instead. Pause after a question or statement to let your child process and attempt a response. If they don't answer, model the answer yourself. What sound does the cow make? Moo. Or go, the cow goes moo. Even that 1 second pause, obviously a little longer is better, but watch your child's facial expressions. Watch how they register. And if they don't have a sound or they're looking up at you blankly, you can fill the space with a word. But I want you to give them time and pause. You can even do a pause and predict game if they're starting to say a word but not consistently. The wheels on the bus go round and... Wait for them to say round, and then you can complete it if not. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. So you're adding the things that I said in the first video, which is the SPEAK acronym, and you can watch that video if you're not familiar. But you're speaking to them, singing, acting, using gestures, but you're also pausing to give their developing brains time to register and process what you're saying. The second mistake is something that we commonly do, which is say ball, say mama. You're adding say before the actual word. So the reason why this is a mistake is constantly instructing your toddler to repeat words without context doesn't actually help them learn the word. So the example here again is say ball, say car, say dog. They don't like being talked to like a puppy, and they're not putting on a show. So eliminate or try to catch yourself and pivot to context. Here's what to do instead. Provide context and model the word naturally in conversation. Look, here's your ball. Do you want the ball? I see you pointing at the ball. This connects the word to its meaning and makes learning engaging. Or look at the fluffy dog. Or wow, that's a really big red ball. The ball bounces so high. Or if they're pointing at a car, instead of saying, say, say, you're pointing to the car. Yes, the car is blue and goes vroom, vroom. The car goes vroom, vroom. Make the word descriptive in context so it clicks more. The next mistake is relying too much on questions. So the mistake here is asking too many questions in a row, which can overwhelm your toddler. What's this? What color is this? Can you say blue? What's it for? Again, we're not doing a quiz bowl here, and this kind of ties in to pausing, but slow down on the questions. Here's what to do instead. Mix questions with statements and commentary. Look at this blue ball. It rolls so fast. Consider statements with excitement. Instead of saying, what is that? Say, wow, look at the cow. The cow goes moo, moo. This adds that processing time. It allows them to associate a word with something in their environment and not feel like they're in a quiz bowl. The next mistake is ignoring nonverbal communication because your mind is so focused on spoken language. So the mistake here is focusing solely on words and not recognizing gestures, pointing, or sounds as communication. So the example, ignoring when your toddler points to a toy but doesn't name it. What to do instead? Acknowledge and respond to their gestures and sounds. Oh, you're pointing to the car. You want the car. Here's the car. Responding to their cues validates their communication, provides meaningful language input. And by saying car, you are connecting what they're seeing in the world, cognitive development, with language development, which goes hand in hand. If they are pointing, you don't need to go quiz bowl status, but get excited and say the word and something descriptive. Yes, ball, it's a red ball. Let's play with the bouncy ball. And by the way, if you're finding these tips helpful, please hit that subscribe button to support my page and for more videos coming your way. The next mistake is overcorrecting mispronunciation. So the mistake here is correcting every word they mispronounce so they feel like they can't get anything right. Example, toddler goes wawa and you say, no, it's water. Say water. Not only did you just negate it and say, no, it's water, but you also did the other mistake, which is say and then the word. What to do instead? Model the correct pronunciation naturally. Yes, water. Let's get some water. Overcorrecting every mispronunciation may make your child feel frustrated or hesitant to try speaking. Instead, by modeling the correct word naturally, you encourage them to keep practicing without fear of being wrong. Language is a gradual process and they need confidence. So by correcting them, by just saying the real word, they get that confidence. And over time, they'll adjust to the correct word without feeling pressured. The next mistake is not using descriptive praise. So the mistake here is offering vague praise like, good job, when they say a word without reinforcing specific language efforts. So example, saying good job when they attempt a new word but not elaborating further. What to do instead? If you get excited, because it is exciting when your kid says a word, you can say, good job, but describe the effort. Good job, you said dog. Yes, that's a dog and it's wagging its tail. So you want to make sure that you are connecting the thing that you're excited about with the description so that it sticks, because the goal here is repetition, excitement, but helping the words stick long term. This introduces new vocabulary while also encouraging their process and is even better than a yay, good job, because they can understand why it's a good job. The next is talking too fast or complex, and the mistake here is using long, fast sentences that are hard for your toddler to follow. The example here could be, let's go outside to play, and then we'll come back in for lunch and maybe read a book after. This can be useful for an older child, but for a child who's learning communication language, it can feel overwhelming. What to do instead? Use simple, slower sentences. Let's go outside. We'll play with your ball. This makes it easier for a child to process the language. As they learn more and grow, you're going to be able to expand the language and length of sentences with more commands and even more speed, but you need them to understand that language foundation first. And the next mistake, which is so important after you're listening to all of these tips, is don't forget to have fun. Don't treat language like a chore or rigid activity. So structured drills and you're just there and you're forcing them with the say ball, say mama. That's stressful for you and that's stressful for the child, and they're just not going to learn that way. What to do instead? Make sure you watch all my tips from the first video looking at communication and language in the first year. Keep it sing-songy, keep it light, narrate what you're doing. Sing songs. Let's sing Old MacDonald together. What does the gal say? Moo, and incorporate language into your life. While folding laundry, this is Daddy's shirt, it's blue. As a pediatrician, I also find going somewhere new, like a new park or even on vacation, is when you may see a lot of new words because there's new things to explore and label and maybe even more attention from you. And like I said, don't forget speak from the last video. Sing, play, expose them to language, act, gestures, and keep it reciprocal. Watch my video on language and communication the first year and subscribe for more content. Every toddler is unique, but it's important to monitor the following to make sure you do not need an evaluation. By 12 months, your child isn't responding to their name. They're not using any gestures like waving, shaking their head no, or pointing. Doesn't respond to familiar words like bottle or mama, or they're not saying any words. By 15 months, no language progression since the 12-month visit, and doesn't have at least 2 words besides mama or dada. By 18 months, they're not using at least 10 words, no language progression since 15 months, does not imitate simple actions, doesn't point or try to get attention, or doesn't follow simple directions like, give me the ball. By 24 months, they're not pointing to things in a book, like to a bunny when you say, where's the bunny? They're not combining 2 words like want cookie or go park. Doesn't respond to simple questions or requests. They have less than 50 words, or doesn't point to at least 2 body parts. Language and communication is important in early childhood, especially in the first 2 years, but that 1 to 2 years is really important for language and communication. In my last video, I talked about how communication and language work together, and communication is a healthy foundation, and language is going to really blossom between that 1 and 2 year mark. So it's really important to monitor these milestones. Also, you're likely going to be seeing your clinician maybe at the 1 year mark, maybe a 15-month visit, 18-month visit, and 2 years. But there's a lot of language development happening between 15 months to 2 years. So if you're ever concerned and your child isn't progressing month to month or visit to visit, it's really important to maybe make a special visit to assess their speech. Recognizing these signs early is crucial, and subscribing to my channel ensures you have access to more resources and tips on what to do if you notice delays or concerns with your child's development, their behavior, or their health. If you notice any of these concerns, don't hesitate to act early so that we can get your child the support they need. Talk to your pediatrician or clinician, ask them to assess your child. They can assess their development and refer you to early intervention or services if needed. Consider a speech-language pathologist, a professional that can help identify specific challenges and create a plan tailored to your child. And again, like I mentioned in my first video, early intervention programs. In the United States, these services are available for free or low cost for children under 3. Early intervention can really make a big difference, and getting your child the support they need early can help them in their developmental trajectory when it comes to communication and language. The bottom line, when helping your toddler learn to talk, remember it's not a quiz bowl. Give them time to process with pauses. Provide context and simple descriptions like, yes, that's a red ball, instead of commands like, say ball, say mama, say dada. And mix statements with open-ended questions to keep it engaging. Respond to their gestures and sounds, model correct words naturally without overcorrecting, and describe their efforts to reinforce the progress. Most importantly, keep it fun and interactive. Your enthusiasm will spark theirs. I still remember my son was at the lower limit of typical for language development at 18 months. He was only saying 10 words, and I was worried. And I started to get into that say ball, say mama, and I noticed that it backfired. It made playing not fun, and he didn't really learn the words. So I went back to these skills. I went back to these foundational tips that incorporate language into our life, and our child's language blossomed. And if it doesn't blossom, make sure you seek assistance so that we can support your child's development. Because it's not always about what you're doing wrong. It's not anything that you're missing. Sometimes your child just needs extra support. What words or phrases has your toddler started saying? If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up sign, share it on social media, subscribe for more content tailored to help you understand your child's health, development, and behavior with confidence. And remember to comment below with any questions, comments, or personal experiences, and use that community tab on my channel to suggest future topics. I hope I brought more confidence into your parenting journey. Stay informed, stay empowered, and I'll see you all next time. Stay well.